Howdy, folks. I'm Pole,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit.
This is actually Brian, and happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior. Amber got it this time. You don't think I'm a Pole?
No, I think you're Brian.
I'm confused.
Why are you confused?
I thought I was a Pole.
Like the kind you put in the ground?
Yeah. Or a magnetic one.
Why? How long have you felt this way?
Oh, for about 30 seconds. Well, 30 seconds or so. I don't know. We need some kind of gag, and the best gag I could come up with is that I'm a Pole. I mean, we're running low on jokes here, folks.
That's what it would seem.
There are no more jokes in the world left. I'm going to have to start finding more. They'll be like buried treasure. So, except for probably not so buried. Our first story is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Husband I Wasn't Feeling Comfortable with Him Wearing Shorts Around His Mom? I'm a 26-year-old female and my husband is a 29-year-old male, and we've been married for a few months. His family lives in another town hours away. His mother came to stay with us a few days after a conflict between her and her husband. Here's the thing, unlike my in-laws, my family is very conservative. I grew up in a conservative household and I see stuff at other people's house that can make me feel uncomfortable. I do my best to be open-minded because of my upbringing and old habits, and they sort of die hard. My in-laws are the opposite. They are very open-minded. My husband is very close to his mother specifically. The issue began when my husband and I were sleeping at 7 a.m. and his mom came knocking on the door wanting help with something. My husband got out of bed and went to meet her downstairs. I was half asleep, but then I was already awake when he came back into the bedroom. He started talking about an issue with the oven while Mom was trying to make us breakfast. I wasn't paying much attention to what he was saying because I just kept wondering how he was able to go outside the bedroom and meet his mom while wearing shorts. I pointed that out and somehow made him upset, asking if I was serious. I told him I just didn't feel comfortable with him wearing shorts around his mom, and he lashed out saying it wasn't a big deal, and I found it strange to be uncomfortable with him wearing shorts around his mom since that's his mom. I suggested that I can't help but feel this way and suggested he wear pants or jeans since all of them are accessible and take him no time to put on. He lashed out, calling me ridiculous and to stop acting like it was a big deal. We argued back and forth and he got extremely upset with me even though I only asked him not to do it again. He said he didn't appreciate what I had to say and said, "It's my house. I can wear what I want." They then went downstairs and had breakfast with his mom without even asking me to join them. I felt bad because I might have
I think it's supposed to be handled. This.
I feel bad because I might have hammered this conversation poorly, but I think he refused to listen to what I had to say and just acted dismissively towards my feelings. Well, it sounds like he was wearing boxers. And
it's not 100% clear whether she's talking about literal shorts or boxers. It's a big debate in the comments about it.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts are since he just got out of bed straight away, it was probably boxers. But even there, I think they're making a little bit of a big deal out of this.
I agree completely. Whether it's PJ shorts or boxers, either way, this is his mom. Presumably, his mom isn't gonna sexualize him for wearing boxers.
Yeah. I mean, I think that different families have different comfort levels. I mean, I certainly personally wouldn't feel comfortable doing something like that. And that's not to say that there's any level of impropriety here, but
right.
It's one of those things where some people have different comfort levels.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, boxers really aren't any different than swim trunks, and I mean, or shorts in general. And I think that's really, we just kind of sometimes have weird, ideas that have been put into us as, from our growth, that some garments are acceptable for people to see us in and others aren't.
Right, and I find it problematic that OP wants to dictate what her husband can and can't wear.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to tell someone you don't really feel comfortable with it, but then to try and be like, you shouldn't do this again.
Yeah.
And try and, like, he's right that it is his house. I mean, he could walk around naked if he wanted to. That wouldn't be, like, necessarily the best way to handle it, but, like,
Yeah.
like, OP can choose whether she wants to be with this man or not, but to try and, like, be like, oh, well, you have to, like, wear pants anytime you're around your mom is like, you don't get to make that call.
Yeah, but I also think that they're not communicating well in general. And I think that, it sounds like haven't probably been together for all that long either in general. So I think that they really need to learn better ways of communicating with each other, because if they don't, then I don't think that their marriage is going to last. I mean, it sounds like she does have a point. He is kind of being dismissive towards her. But
I actually took issue with that because it's fine to, I think, be dismissive of people's feelings if they affect you. Like, she's trying to impose her morals on him.
Yeah.
And that's where I take issue. So, like, if someone tells me, Amber, you can't wear shorts in public, and I mean literal shorts here, because there are people who have that belief system, like, I'm going to be completely dismissive of their feelings.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that,
Well, there's a difference between being completely dismissive over, like, strangers' feelings and your partner. I'm not saying that she has a point. I'm not saying that she has ground, but I think that they just need to kind of have a sit down and have a calm, rational conversation. So.
I certainly think they do need to perhaps communicate better. But like if it was a male partner saying like you shouldn't wear that skirt around, like I would be like, yeah, no, just dismiss them. So I feel like
I mean
that's see it the same way.
That's a valid point. So what do you folks think? Do you think that she's overreacting? Do you think that she should be not dictating what he wears around the house? Let us know in the comments below. So it's the summertime, and my tea days are behind me for now because it's way too hot to drink tea.
You could have iced tea.
I could have iced tea, but we don't have any ice.
That could be remedied.
It can't be. There's no way for us to make ice, Amber.
Like you put water in ice molds and put it in the freezer?
That would be gross. Have you ever had moldy ice? Ew. Ew. Ew, gross, people. Gross. Even suggesting it. Yeah, not what you meant.
Our next story is titled, Am I the Jerk for Sending the Makeup Artist Away When Mother-in-Law Needed Hers Redone and Not Holding Up the Wedding for Her? I got married a few weeks ago. Father-in-law, mother-in-law's ex, paid for everything, so just to be clear, she did not pay for this makeup artist. Mother-in-law was a pain in the butt throughout the entire wedding planning, trying to make things about her, complaining about minor inconveniences, and then she defended her sister and stepmom when they get caught talking smack about me. Needless to say, I was not happy with mother-in-law when the wedding day rolled around. In our circle, it is the norm for families to coordinate color-wise. Mother-in-law refused to talk about dresses because she was set on one dress that made me very uncomfortable. It's not white, but I thought it would photograph white, clashed with my scheme, and it had cutouts. Mother-in-law goes to a lot of formal events and could have worn the darn dress somewhere else, but she would not be reasoned with. Finally, my husband laid down the law and said she could wear something I was okay with, or she could stay home. The day of the wedding, I got ready at mother-in-law's mom's house, and mother-in-law was there. Mother-in-law was very sulky, but had the right dress. Her boyfriend went into the kitchen and made a Bloody Mary in a huge cup, came out, fake tripped, and spilled it on her. Mother-in-law freaked out because he got it on her face and hair. The two of them totally forgot I was there, and she was like, "You were only supposed to get it on the dress." And he was like, she wasn't clear about that, so they blew their whole cover. Mother-in-law was actually laughing.
Dumb crooks, folks. Dumb crooks.
The hair and makeup person was getting ready to leave, and mother-in-law asked her to stay and redo hers after she showered. I told the woman that mother-in-law didn't pay, and I did not want her to stay. Mother-in-law offered to pay her, but I asked her as the bride to please leave, and she did. Mother-in-law had to shower because tomato juice has a strong smell, and I said I would not hold up the wedding for her. Mother-in-law got mad and said I was being vindictive because it's her son's wedding. I didn't wait for her, and she missed the ceremony. Mother-in-law's parents both told me I took it too far, and that embarrassed her. I told her that I don't want any whining if she doesn't like how she looks in pictures due to being the only one without professional hair and makeup, and mother-in-law said she didn't care, but mother-in-law's mom is upset because she hates when either of her daughters have their natural wavy hair, and said I ruined the wedding by being petty.
So.
Not the jerk.
Totally the jerk,
Not
right?
the jerk.
Like, she just should not.
Not the jerk.
Like, this poor mother-in-law, the poor mother-in-law, she just wanted her hair and makeup done, and it was just a total accident, I'm sure.
Oh,
a
oops.
total accident that he made this gigantic Bloody Mary and spilt it on her. Totally on accident, I'm sure.
Completely. Yeah.
Oh,
no.
we're all in agreement.
No, we're not. Definitely not the jerk. It was very clearly, like, the level of intent there is so clear. Like, there's not even any, like, shadow of a doubt when she's literally like, you were just supposed to...
How long do you think they planned this for? How long do you think they were like, oh, hey, I've got a way to get around this whole not being able to wear my white wedding dress to the wedding. We're going to spill tomato juice on me, while OP is there, so that she can witness it, and I can be like, oh well, I guess there's nothing else I can wear but the wedding dress. It sounds like it took them probably months to coordinate this plan.
Yeah. And so I'm going to say OP is not the jerk. You don't have to hold up the proceedings for this woman. If it was that important for her to be there, then she wouldn't be throwing a fit over the dress and trying to sabotage things in the first place.
I mean, yeah, I think OP was under a lot of pressure, and certainly, asking the makeup artist to leave even after the mother-in-law offered to pay them on her own, I think it was up to the makeup artist at that point in time. And I mean, it certainly is difficult because, like, you have clashing personalities and whatnot, and OP was under a lot of stress, and not to mention, it sounds like mother-in-law was out to make things as miserable as possible for OP, so I can't blame her for wanting to exclude her at a certain point. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that this was the worst thing in the world for OP to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just more or less a you reap what you sow thing. OP had a wedding to get to and took the hair and makeup artist with her, and it was mother-in-law's own fault that her face messed up for the thing. So
you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. All right, our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for making my new boyfriend move his PC out of my apartment? I've been seeing this guy for about a month, and he's been spending all of his time living at my apartment. A few days ago, he brought his PC gaming setup to my apartment and connected to my Wi-Fi without asking, shared my IP with a bunch of folks, and set up a gaming platform that he moderates. I don't know anything about any of this stuff, but I do know it made my personal tech on my Wi-Fi run significantly slower. Personal phone, laptop, Google Chromecast, and Nintendo Switch. I used the Xfinity website and found that he was using 70% of the bandwidth. So I paused it and changed the Wi-Fi password. He never asked about bringing it, shared my IP without telling me, and doesn't contribute to the Wi-Fi bill. He tried telling me that my technology always was running slow. No sir, I've lived here for a year, you've been here for 5 weeks. The server that he runs are currently slow down, and he transports the PC back to his place. He gives me a good bit of time for turning it off. I think my apartment, my Wi-Fi, and my tech, my rules. Reddit, am I the jerk? Edit 4 hours later, I dumped him. Him and his stuff are gone. Spent all day dealing with basically a child throwing a hissy fit. Unanimously, not the jerk. Thank you for all of your advice. He even said, "I'm sorry, I'm not sorry." Hello, what does that even mean? So, what do you think here, Amber?
Not the jerk.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, like, why did he need to set up internet at her place? Why did he need to set up a gaming server? It sounds like he set up a server, and that's actually what was taking the bandwidth.
Yeah.
So probably people were actually connecting to a gaming server he set up and, utilizing her, internet connection for that. And I think that will actually slow your internet down. And it is one of those things that you do have to be cognizant of. And the way I see it is that he wasn't paying for the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
And doesn't sound like he was paying for anything, to be quite honest. So why didn't he set this up at his house? I don't know.
Yeah, well, it sounds like maybe he had it set up there, but he came over and brought it over to her place. And,
Yeah.
giving out her IP address without her consent, that one really was like...
Yeah.
Because if people have malicious intents and they know your IP address,
Yeah, I mean, there is potential that they can do with that.
I mean, not a lot of people are going to do that,
Yeah.
obviously, but still, it feels like, I'm just going to share all this stuff with you all. It's not even mine, it's my girlfriend's, and I haven't asked her.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, I'm not saying that he should have done any of that.
No, I didn't say you were. I was just saying that was the part kind of just how he didn't ask about anything. And
Yeah.
just
it just sounds like he kept pushing the boundaries. Like, she didn't draw any firm boundaries, and he kept just, give an inch, take a mile type of thing. It sounds like he just started living there rent free and kept, taking advantage of the situation more and more. So, yeah, not the jerk, OP. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks to Amber for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, consider giving us a like. If you dislike this video, consider giving us a dislike. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.